Hi everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today I'm going to bring you my September TBR. But this is like a September TBR with a question mark after it because I'm not 100% set in stone that this is a TBR that I will finish all of these books. These are some books that I've been thinking about now that we're closing in on the end of the year. I would really like to make some strides in my year-long TBRs. And so that's where a lot of these books are coming from. So the first book that I plan on finishing, this is definitely one of the books that's on my 2019 fantasy TBR. This is a Laundress written by Brandon Sanderson. This was actually the very first novel that Brandon Sanderson published back in 2005. So I'll be interested to see what I think about this book because some people who don't start with a Laundress can definitely tell that it's his first novel in comparison to some of the later novels that they have read. So this book seems to me like it's a typical Brandon Sanderson setup. You've got a royal aspect, you've got a religious aspect, you've got a magic aspect. The city of Laundress is a city that has dead and decayed. I believe that the magic is also dead and decayed as well. Not completely sure, but this is something that's been on my long time TBR. Yeah, so let me know what you think. I see a lot of people who are just like either hit or miss with Laundress. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. I'm pretty hopeful that I'll like this one. I had a good time with Warbreaker. I feel like the Mistborn trilogy redeemed itself with me, so I'm looking forward to this one. This is definitely on the 2019 fantasy TBR, so my hope is that I can finish this one in September. Another book that is definitely on my 2019 fantasy TBR, this is Jade City written by Fonda Lee. This is book number 1 of the Green Bone saga. I don't know what order I'm posting some of my videos this week. This video is probably going to go up before the video that I'm referring to, but I was talking a lot about in that video, there's a lot of diverse reads and a lot of own voices, fantasy reads and fantasy authors that I was really hoping to connect to those kinds of stories because I just really want to see, you know, a little bit of something different in the fantasy books that I am reading other than just my stereotypical Western European white male authors. No offense to those guys because they're like the bread and butter of what I typically read, but I just wanted to switch some things up. And the books that I have encountered in that vein, not all of them have been super successful for me. So I picked up Jade City in the hope that this is a Chinese-American author writing about an Asian-inspired world. She is a kung fu and a karate black belt, I believe. She's a big martial artist, so she's drawing all of this inspiration from her martial arts background. I'm a martial artist, I can appreciate that. And she's drawing upon her own Asian heritage to tell this story. So inside this world, there's magical, fantastical metropolis city where Jade powers up the city and people also use Jade to power themselves. It seems like a really fun ride. She actually just published her second book in the trilogy, and I've heard a couple of people talk about this book. Not that many, but she's an author that I really want to give a shot to. I really want to try this out because I just want to, again, find some own voices authors that are just gonna deliver me the goods. Speaking of like Western European white fantasy authors, this is Ruined by John Gwynne. I put this book in the book series that I want to finish. So this is book number 3 of the Faithful and the Fallen series. It's a series that I've been taking my time with, and this is definitely a book that I started last year. I think I'm like 100 pages in. Oh no, I'm 200 pages in. Surprise, that's fun. It's like 800 pages, so I'm not anywhere near close to finishing this, but since I did give this a really good start, I definitely want to finish this book because I would like to finish up this series, so this is the 3rd installment of that series. Young Corbin is our main character. It's a chosen one trope. It follows all the beats of classic epic fantasy that you're used to, but I really enjoy it. I've been having a good time with it. A lot of people have said that they can't wait till I get to the end and finish this story up because they tell me it's really epic. There's a lot of dark magic in here that I like. There's a lot of good stuff that happens in this series, so because it's been sitting on my shelf like half read, not even half read, a quarter read, I would like to finish this book. So this one, I believe, even though this is like a very nebulous question mark TBR, I feel very strongly about finishing this book in September, so this is one that I am most likely going to prioritize. This next book is Siege and Storm, written by Leigh Bardugo. This is book number 2 of the Grisha trilogy. The reason why I have this book in my TBR is I actually put Six of Crows in my 2019 fantasy TBR, and I've only read one book of the Grisha trilogy. I am one of those people that would prefer to read the Grisha trilogy before moving on to Six of Crows, so since I've only read one book of the Grisha trilogy, I really need to get off my butt and work through the Grisha trilogy, so that's why I have Siege and Storm here. Alina and Mal have fled to an unfamiliar land to try and escape the power of the Darkling. And a lot of people have said that this was their favorite book in the series. So we'll see how I feel about this one. And then I have this book. This is Lethal White, written by Robert Galbraith, also known as J.K. Rowling. This is the 4th book in the Comoran Strike series. I've been thinking about this book for a while now. This one came out and I got it right away, but then I just haven't read it yet. But I've been watching the TV series, the CB Strike TV series. In the US, you have to watch it on Cinemax, and then in the UK, it's on the BBC. But I feel like the BBC adaptation has definitely nailed it with this story, and I just remembered how much I really enjoyed Comoran and Robin and the different mysteries that we got involved. So I've been thinking about this one. I think the fall time is a really good time to be reading a mystery novel, so just give myself a little bit of a break from the fantasy books that I've been reading. So just because this one's been recently on my mind, I would like to pick this one up. Maybe I'll do this one on audiobook. Like I said, because I've got Ruin in this pile, and that one's gonna take up quite a bit of some time off of my plate. But there you have it. Those are the books that I am thinking about getting to. I plan on getting to. My goal is for sure to do Ruin, so hopefully you'll be able to see a wrap up with that book. Let me know what you plan on reading for your September TBRs. Are you planning on participating in any of the readathons? There's a lot of readathons going on right now. Otherwise, you can find me on my social media. Twitter, Instagram, at whatcassread. Goodreads link is always listed down below, and you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.